for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. And of course, for those of you who tune in regularly to our pod, as you know, the iHypnosis life coaching journeys is a pod that has been curated for you, where we find some truly amazing people, people who are both coaches and healers in their own right. And they are at this point, you know, not just at the very start of their journey, but they've, put a lot of effort into getting to this point. They've invested a lot of time. They've also gotten to that place where, connecting to purpose is becomes easier and easier each day. And of course, we have a very, very special guest in our midst. And with that, of course, Bindu, this is your cue. So you can turn on your camera. And very, very good to have you here. Thank you for making the time and welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much, Rahul. It's a pleasure and it's an honor to be with you.
Beautiful. So, what we will do before and I know people who are listening to you, maybe they've known you from before, or maybe they're meeting you for the very first time. I'm sure they'll be very keen to know, what's Bindu's story like? How did Bindu get to be, and do the things that she does today? But before we start that, it's like when someone asks you, so Bindu, what do you do?
Uh, in a nutshell, if I say I help women to stand for themselves,
Mm,
to feel themselves that they are powerful and
mm.
feel that they are beautiful at every moment.
Beautiful, beautiful, amazing. So, just hearing you say that, I know there is a story behind this, right? It
Yes.
wasn't something that you might have just sort of arrived at in a moment. It would have probably been a journey to get here.
Yeah.
So, can you sort of take us back in time to, like, how did you get to this point where you talk about what you do today? What's the story behind that? Like, how did you get here?
The story is like everything rooted in our culture traditions because
Mm,
we are three sisters and I'm the
mm,
middle one. And
huh,
these two, the younger and the elder one, they are fair, they are pretty, they are petite. And I
right.
was the ugly duckling of the house.
Wow.
And who was treated like this? Oh, she is like that. Others are too
Wow.
pretty. I grew up with that complex. But that made me work on my skills otherwise. I became more
Mm,
extrovert. I learned other things just to prove myself that I'm also good in all. So
mm,
life went on, studied, got married. Life was going smoothly, loving
mm,
husband, good family, daughter, everything. I started working in school again because I was a
mm.
teacher before that also. There
Okay.
also, climbing the ladder, everything fine. But suddenly life took a turn and I had some health issues.
Mm,
And the thing was, the doctors were not identifying. 2 years I was struggling. I was continuously losing weight. I had lost
mm.
20 kgs almost.
Wow.
And the stage had come that simple home food I could not digest and I was puking.
Wow.
The stage was that what do I do? I don't know what's happening. All my reports coming normal. I'm going to the best doctors, but don't know.
Mm,
So that was the time I took sabbatical because I had no energy to work in school with
mm,
kids.
mm,
But that was a time I felt I lost my identity because I was like a leader working with everybody over there,
mm,
guiding them. But now I'm sitting at home. I don't want to meet people because I don't want to see myself in the mirror. And what is my fault? I don't even know. What's
mm,
wrong with me? I don't even know. And now that was a stage I lost my confidence. My relationship was affected because I was not finding myself worthy. I had no
mm,
energy to do anything. And I felt that it's over, everything over.
mm,
But when I saw that my family, who is very loving, my husband very caring, but they start doing pity in the sense that
mm.
it's okay, tum mat karo, you sit at home, you don't go.
Wow.
I said, I don't want this life. I
Mm,
want to be a person who was always energetic, always on the
mm,
go. And they are saying, no, no, it's okay. You sit at home, we'll
mm,
manage everything. So I said, no, I don't want this life. That was my turning point. In between, doctors also found out what was my thing. They started
mm,
treating me, but mentally, emotionally, physically, I was all time down and I have to revive myself. I have to bounce back
mm,
from them. That
Mm,
was the time I saw a big ad in the newspaper of image consulting. Do you have in you to
mm,
transform others and get transformed? I said, cross transforming others, I need help here. I want
mm.
to get transformed. That time, at the age of 50, I started going to that college
Wow.
again. With the girls who were 20s and 30s, I did my course again. I
Right.
established myself again. I found beauty in myself again. I found my self worth again. And
Mm,
that is what I carry now, that each and every person is beautiful. You have to see the beauty inside.
mm,
Any moment in your life, anything, it cannot describe your destiny, it cannot describe your life. Ups and downs come, but hold yourself with grace and sophistication.
wow.
That is what I came here and became an image consultant. And then from image consultant, there are so many things like
Mm,
empowering coach, confidence, this all are interlinked. But the thing is, you have to find beauty in yourself. You have to
mm.
feel that I'm beautiful, I am worthy. And then the world will believe you. But the moment
Wow.
you lose yourself, it's all over. It's all over.
Mm,
Because people are ready to to bounce back. People will,
mm.
will see what you show to them. But if you show the energy, if you show the grace, if you show the sophistication at any age, they are with you. So you have to lead your life with grace. And then so I went from up to down, and then I came back, and
Mm.
it was a difficult journey. It was really a difficult journey, but you have to do it if you want to live life.
Yes.
Otherwise, you don't want to see your own people telling you, okay, it's okay, don't do, just sit at home.
Mm,
I didn't want. No, I wanted to get back to my life, and I did really hard work. Took me
mm.
some time, but I
Wow.
did that. And that is what I tell everybody. Any moment,
Mm,
anybody's comment, anything cannot describe you. You are much, much more than what people describe you. So
mm.
write your own destiny, write your own narrative. What you tell yourself is more important than what other think. Let them think, because they will think anyways. You feel beautiful, carry yourself with grace and see
Right.
people will start following.
Wow. Love that energy with which you've tapped into it. And I'm sure, like I said, at the start of our pod, that this will definitely connect with people. And as you said, your special tribe is women who need to hear this.
Absolutely.
Thankfully, today there are more women who are waking up to their own power, but there
Yes.
are still people who are stuck in maybe old thinking,
Yeah.
maybe their own limitations that they've
Absolutely.
taken on. And I'm sure hearing you today, and as I said, one part of this pod is to connect you to people out there who need to hear this message, right?
Mm.
Like you happen to see that ad so long ago, and
Yes.
that made
Yes.
a shift in
Yeah.
your life. So it's
Yeah.
almost like in the relay race, this is that part where you're now passing the baton on to somebody who
Absolutely.
needs to hear this. It's like you're that torchbearer who's like literally like showing them the light, saying take take the light from me,
Me.
not that take my light, but take the light from me,
From me.
and then you get to do that in your own life, and tomorrow they will be sharing that, saying there was a time I happened to have seen Bindu, whether it was on the pod, whether it was
Yeah. Yeah.
in whatever programs that you're doing, and that literally like it just one leads to another, leads to another. So
Absolutely.
such a powerful story, and I'm sure as the pod progresses, we'll maybe go deeper into the story, and like you've given us the overview, so we know what the landscape looks like,
Yeah.
and I'm sure your story, more incidents from the story will also inspire people, because I think that if you really look at it, you know, that is really what people are looking for today. They're
Yeah.
looking to, like, way back in day, right? Way back in time. It was stories that inspired us. Yeah,
Yes.
that inspired us to go on these quests, these
Absolutely.
journeys, and along the way create our own stories, which we could then hand on and pass on to other people.
Yeah.
So as you said, you took us from the present all the way to the past and back to what you do today. Tell us a little bit about like what is it that you do today when, say, you're working with people. uh, where are you on that journey of whether you say being a coach or whatever it is, like however you frame what you do, um, what is it that you do today with people?
Okay. So I call myself a transformation coach. I work inside out. In
Mm,
again, your self-esteem,
mm,
confidence, where are your blockages and why you're
mm,
stopping yourself? All that,
mm,
because that is removing those are more important than I'm telling you, okay, wear this brand and how you look at it.
mm.
Because your confidence comes from within.
Correct.
When you have that clarity, you are naturally doing. You don't need any extra thing. But the
Mm,
thing is, when your purpose is sorted out, when your worth is there, then it's now all fine. Then
mm,
shaping you outside is a simple thing, like we have so many tools and techniques for that. But one thing, that how you have your power, how you
mm,
say that what you want to say, how you have your relationships with others, so that there is no blockage for you. It's not necessary that you have to go out and work, but you
mm,
feel that power within you. You feel that I'm feeling light. I don't have the burdens in my head and heart, that I
mm,
express myself. I cannot do these things. It's not necessary that you have to earn money, but you have to
mm,
feel worthy. That is important.
mm.
So when women do this, they are managing the full family. They're managing their
Correct.
husbands beautifully because they have
Correct.
beautiful relationship with them. Uh,
Mm,
their children, they're passing on the baton to them, how
mm.
to live your life. And same way they take care of the older generation also, because they
True.
understand how it is. So it's very, very important for a woman, first of all, to
Mm,
feel important, feel
mm,
known, feel love, and entirely responsibilities on her to give to everybody, but she
mm.
has to give to herself. That is very
Right.
important.
Right.
Give time to yourself. Go out for your girlfriends, go out for your walks or whatever you like, your me time, but
Mm,
feel happy. Don't feel frustrated. Don't feel,
mm,
oh, I do for everybody, nobody cares for me. You have to step down, like I want my me time, or what I
mm,
like. At family, I've seen ladies say, it's okay, I leave it for my
mm,
daughter, son, everything. You don't, even a simple dish you can't leave, keep for yourself. You have to set those boundaries.
mm.
Okay, eat, and this is for me. Once you'll feel bad, and once they'll feel bad, but you have to set those boundaries.
Right.
Make them feel that you are also equally important.
Mm.
Because unless you do, nobody's going to do.
True. True.
In our culture, the woman is shown like this, like a devi. She has to, sacrifice
Mm.
for everybody.
Correct.
But if she does it, she is good. If she doesn't do, she is not good. So you
Mm.
have to change that mindset, that I am also human being. I am also living, and I also have my wishes and desires, and I am worthy of fulfilling all of them.
Mm.
That is very important. So we have to teach them.
Mm.
That's very, very, you know,
So something you said right now, the sense that I get is that you probably had a moment like this in your journey. At some point there was this, like a tipping point, or there was this break, like a breakthrough moment or a breaking point where, not in a negative way breaking point, but where it like literally sort of made you say, no, I'm going to, this has to stop. Or there was the, it seems like you would have had some moment like that, because this is what you're encouraging other people to recognize in their own life.
yeah.
Could you, share that moment?
So, Rahul, when I decided I want to do something,
Mm,
see, I was already 50 that time. My husband said, why? Kya zarurat kya hai?
correct.
तो बैठो ना घर में आराम
Exactly.
से, like you have everything. But I said, no, I don't want to sit and watch Netflix or TV or take care of maids or anything. I need to do. He asked me
Mm,
4 times,
wow.
are you sure? What is the need? Why you want to go now? I said, no, I want to go. He took me there. We went for the presentation we had and everything. And then, still you want to do? I said, I want to do. So it was like
Mm,
difficult to convince him that I really want to do at this age also. So don't bind
mm,
me with age, like, oh, you itna ho gaya to you can't do. Why I can't do? So just to prove himself wrong, we went to Pondicherry and we had decided to do sea dive. But as luckily I got, luckily or whatever, I got temperature 102
right.
degrees, and this slot was booked. I said,
Mm,
I have to go. He said, are you crazy? I said, I have to go just to tell you that I have the energy to do that. And I did,
wow.
just to make him understand that don't think that we are less in any way. So that
Wow.
is what, you have to put your foot down sometimes,
Right.
take risk also, but you have
Mm,
to make them understand that I want to live this life.
mm,
Don't just categorize me in this thing that this is your age, this is your category, you can do this. No, I want to live to the fullest. And
wow.
that is what I learned after that incident, after losing 20 kgs, after feeling so down,
Mm,
because maybe something's come in your life to teach you a lesson.
mm,
That was my turning point to feel that I don't want this life. How can I change it? So
mm,
I worked on myself. I invested. In those youngsters, I used to feel so odd one out, but I still did it. I
mm,
mingled with them. I did everything possible. But to gain that, yes, I can do. I can have a second inning also, and gracefully I can do that.
wow.
That is what I did.
Amazing. Amazing. So, you said something about, like, basically it's a lot to do with how we think, right? Like
Absolutely.
age difference or
Yeah.
why now, is umar mein. Like these are the
Yeah.
typical kind of things that people come up
Yes.
with. And it could be for anything. It's not just age as we understand age. It could be any kind of frame, right? Um, Walk us through what was it like the first day when you entered as a student in that academy or the space where you were learning again,
Rahul, I still remember because everybody was introducing themselves, and
right?
I am this old. Like I'm 26. What do I say? I am
Right,
already 50 in front of them.
right.
So that I twisted that thing. I did not tell my age because I didn't have the courage that time to speak like that.
Right.
Because in those youngsters, oh, auntie has come and this and
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I didn't want that because I was not prepared for that.
correct.
So I did that, but slowly, slowly, I gained that confidence. And when I meet people, when I tell them I also wow, I said, yes, wow, you
Yes,
can also be wow. Just
yes.
work on yourself. So
Mm,
that was, there are many times which I felt, oh my God, what they'll say now. Oh, this one
mm,
has come, this auntie, why she's doing here, all that. But if you want to do, you have to face all these things.
mm,
When you face this, then it's over. So whatever fear is, just go and face it, and then it's not a fear.
right.
Unless we are getting scared of that, it will make us more scared.
Mm,
So just go head on, face it, and it's done.
mm. Beautiful, Bindu. So, question: what you talked about, like that that moment, that turning point for you when you were 50.
Yeah.
How close to or further away from COVID was it? Like, was it somewhere around COVID or was it
Yeah. 2019, I completed my course, and maybe October, November, I completed all certification, and December 2019, the COVID has started. Then again, almost 2 years, there was no work because image consulting,
correct?
like, who will think of that? There was
Right.
a matter of life and death. And
Mm,
that was again, I was into depression that what do I do now?
mm,
I have no experience. How will I go to people? That time, Success Gyan was doing courses. So I again got attached with Cheena Raheja, who was an international.
mm,
So I kept on, asking her, learning with her all 6 months I did. And then slowly, slowly, I started doing some little courses for colleges, free of cost only,
mm,
because
mm,
all colleges were offering all that.
mm,
I did that. Then I did some from HDFC for work from home, that how you should look on screen, and some. So little work started like that, and that gave me little confidence that I know my topic. I can speak on that.
mm,
That's how slowly it started. But not only image consulting, my heart lies in how women can have their power.
mm,
That is the
mm,
basic. So I combine everything. So that is
mm,
why I call inside out, because the transformation has to be total. You cannot just have
mm,
transformation outside, tell
mm,
them what to wear, how to wear, but
correct.
inside, if you're not
Mm,
confident, it has no purpose. So that is what
mm,
I do, because I take
right.
it from my own story, and
Mm,
that's what
mm,
I feel.
beautiful. So, Bindu, you said, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said inner beauty, right? You said that's the main thing that you
Yeah,
focus on.
yeah, absolutely.
Walk us through when you discovered that word or that phrase that it really has meaning. Like like what was happening at that point? Because there must have been a moment of that aha, like, oh, I get it now.
I tell you, my husband has a big role in this, because
Mm,
when when he got married, so he said, you were the, like, out of those, you were the most poised and sophisticated.
Mm.
Like, I mean, he said ki, though they are pretty, I agree, but
Mm.
you have your own charm. You know how to carry yourself. You know how to make other person comfortable,
Mm.
warmth in you, and that was the thing I was always looking for. I always thought that these are the things which stand out. The beauty is temporary; it goes away
Mm.
unless you make the other person feel good. What is the point of your beauty? And that he made me realize that I found that in you. And since I am from Delhi and he is
Mm.
from Mumbai, so he said, you were the right fit for Mumbai because all Delhi people are, I know, we have very noisy, very this. But you were the right fit. That's why you came here.
Wow.
He acknowledged that and I felt good with that.
Amazing, amazing. And sort of like full circle where now, as you were stepping into this new avatar, this,
Yeah.
I think you call it second innings, it's like
Yes.
this
Yes.
new version of you,
Yeah.
what he saw in you so long back is now like coming to play because women get to benefit from that because it's something that you also recognize,
Yeah.
right? The
Rahul, when I go for corporate trainings now,
mm.
he's like, oh my God, look at this lady here. She does. So it's
Beautiful,
like, yeah.
amazing. So let me ask a different question,
Yeah.
because again, as we were talking about with COVID, COVID is one of those things that did not miss anybody, right?
Yeah.
Everybody had something, some awakening, some
Right.
loss, lots
Yes.
of loss, lots of awakening, but
Yeah.
it's something that's universal in everybody's life,
Absolutely.
right? And especially when you look at the world that we live in today where it's about reaching out to people, just the fact that you and I are able to have this conversation is at some level an outcome of what happened 5 years ago,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Just our mindset that yes, we can meet online, we can conduct business or whatever it is can be done online, right?
Yeah.
um, when and you said like I think 2020 would have been when 2020 or 21 when you found Success Gyan and their programs, and
Yes. Yeah.
you started
Yeah.
doing some of these, and then you started doing your own programs as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When it comes to presenting oneself and being able to show that inner beauty, not just recognizing it but showing it out in the world, um, what was your journey to recognize that okay, this is how I'll be able to let other people know. So, for example, digital marketing or creating courses or doing programs live, but doing it all through the digital media, right? What was that journey for you? Like, how did you come to terms with it? Because you also mentioned that in your previous avatar you were a teacher, which
Yeah.
means possibly never in a million years did you think you would be doing things on Zoom
Never.
to like
Never.
connecting to your people who are sitting across in
Never.
different
Never.
time zones or different parts of the country. So what was that journey like for you?
Rahul, I always had a phobia of technology.
Mm.
So it was like I used to get scared of touching. I don't know, I'll make a
Ah.
mistake. So always I used to be after my daughter or my husband.
Mm.
And they used to get so right. Like, kya hai? Matlab, why you are after us and doing all
Mm.
this? But I learned every single thing slowly. Through Success Gyan, definitely. Then different courses, how to operate Zoom, how to make
Ah.
Insta account, how to do all these things. And still it is going on. Now AI is
Right.
so powerful. We are learning with AI. But
Correct.
that was a difficult thing. That was again a mindset that I, at this age, I can't do it. I can't handle it. Because I have been always writing on the board or writing pen and paper. So
Yeah.
these things are really difficult. Even while
Correct.
working, when they were introducing digital, we used to find it difficult making reports and doing all that because when we
Mm.
learned these things were not there so prevalent. but
Exactly.
but again you have to evolve, you have to keep on learning with the times.
Mm.
And
Mm.
if you don't evolve, you are at a certain level. So
Right.
to grow in life, definitely you keep on evolving yourself.
Mm.
And don't think that again age is a matter, because that is a
Mm.
big blockage.
Mm.
Keep learning. People are always nice if you are nice. If you want to
Mm.
reach to them, want help, they are ready to help. But the only thing is how you go. And then
Mm.
again comes my how you communicate, how you show your non-verbals, how you
Yeah.
present yourself. All these things come into picture.
Beautiful. Amazing. I love that, Bindu. I mean, it's literally like I know that this is definitely going to inspire people to say, okay, till now I've been putting off, having the that Insta account, or
Yeah.
showing up and doing
Yes.
whatever it is, videos or whatever that they've been putting away or pushing off, and hearing you, I'm sure it will give them that confidence that, okay, if Bindu can do it, so can I,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. And they will find a lot of joy once they start doing
Mm,
it.
mm,
The
true.
connectivity with people is so better. The people start following you. You feel so good that you are
Mm,
somewhere on that cloud which you never thought of.
correct, correct. Amazing. So, at this juncture, maybe if you can walk us through, like, what is typically, what do you do in programs? Because uh, I'm sure there must be some of it which is surface level, and some of it which is really, really deep. Like, I'm not saying necessarily that dealing with people's trauma, but when you talk about especially inner beauty, a lot of it goes back to childhood, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it goes
Yes.
back to the language that parents spoke, which has sort of been embedded in people's minds, right? And
Yeah.
you're talking specifically to
Yes.
women,
Yes.
so there are a lot of biases, things unconscious a lot of times, but there are biases that exist. So this is what a lot of them, are trying really hard to let go of, but they've not been able to. So what typically happens in programs that you run, which are, as I said, like, share with us like some part which is the surface level, like what you cover, to get their attention, and then of course when you start to do the deeper work, like what do you typically do?
Whenever I work with someone, so they come up with their own story. This is not
Mm,
happening. My
mm,
husband doesn't allow me, or mother-in-law is like that. But when you dig down, the problem is that either they are not listening, or they are not
mm,
giving the respect, or they are not trying to understand. That
mm,
happens. So the idea is that tell them that if you want respect, you start giving the respect, whether it's mother-in-law or anybody in the family, because
mm,
we live on respect. We don't want money, we don't want anything. Only thing is
mm,
respect. Once you start giving respect and start acknowledging the person, automatically
mm,
the other person changes. So when I tell them, of course, it takes a lot of time for them to understand, but with action, when they start seeing the result, it really matters. And second
mm,
thing is with their children, start listening to them with eye to eye. We are always
mm,
busy with our mobile and say, ha, yahan hai, wahan hai, this. So the time is give time to them. Everybody needs your
mm,
attention, warmth, and love. That's the basic thing. So
mm,
when you start doing that, whosoever relation, how bad it is, but it starts blooming, because when
mm,
you start nourishing that thing,
right.
it definitely starts. So
Mm,
anybody is, you're having misunderstanding because you did not pay attention to that person, you did not listen to that, and the moment they wanted, you were busy in something.
right.
That's the only thing. And
Mm,
when you take care of these things, everything becomes
mm,
beautiful.
mm,
And then you say, oh, you did the magic, and my mother-in-law is so nice to me. My husband is asking me for date, he's taking me out, and my children are started listening. What did I do? I just told them that take care of these things. That
mm,
necessity of every human being to
mm,
love, to be loved, to get attention, and see that the person who is with them is showing that empathy, showing that warmth to them, so that
correct.
they feel they exist for them.
Mm,
That's
amazing, amazing.
really,
So,
but we are not existing.
go ahead.
We all are living in front of each
Mm,
other's eyes. Are we really living for each other,
mm,
existing? That is not happening. So
wow.
feel that the other person are there with you. That is
Mm,
it.
got it. So let me ask you this: how has your relationship evolved with your daughter? Because it seems like you've kind of made these shifts in your own life at a very sort of important point in her life, as she's growing
Yes.
up and she's getting to see you as a role model,
Yeah.
right? So what
Uh,
changes have you noticed?
the first thing I had decided from the very beginning, because my mother always
Mm,
took decision for us. You will wear this, you will go this. So
mm,
we could not have independent decision that time. And
mm,
when I had my daughter, I said I'll allow her to decide what she wants. So
mm,
first thing was that. And second thing is, I told her, I made such a relation with her that anything happens from her teens till she is 26, anything happens. Do
mm,
not worry, come and tell. So now she tells me everything, where she goes, with whom she goes, and whatever she's doing. So that bond is very necessary for the child to feel safe. Otherwise, where
mm,
they'll go out.
correct.
So why don't we keep them at home and give them the security that we are your parents? Why
Mm,
anything happens and we tell them, okay, we are your parents? Why don't we give them? And
mm,
we also did so many things in our childhood, in our teenage or something. So why you suddenly become different? No, you can't do these rules and regulations. I mean, be a friend with your child and
mm,
enjoy their journey. So
mm.
we have kept that atmosphere at home, and she's tells us
Wow.
everything.
Mm, amazing. That's sometimes those are the moments of recognition that this work that you're doing, not
Yeah,
only on yourself, but that
yeah,
you're doing for other people, that this shows up in your own family. Like those are indicators that like you really
absolutely.
absorbed that decision that you said, at 50, like I am going to step up for myself. And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
now you're getting to benefit even more
right,
from those decisions.
right. Yes.
Another question, especially because our audience is basically, coaches and healers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, how has your or what has your journey been when it comes to, like, we talk about funnels, right? So for example, when we're creating this content or whatever it be, eventually we want to help people, so we're making it easier for them to consume, maybe the free courses, and then eventually to go deeper and deeper into the work that we do with them,
yeah.
like you're creating different kinds of programs. So where are you on that journey at this point, Bindu?
So Rahul, actually, when we started, it was like I was going in all direction. I want to do
Mm,
this. I want to do this. So many things. First, I did courses.
correct.
Then I understood that all these courses come down to one, that
Mm,
I am going to tell women that have a good personality,
mm,
whether it's through image consulting, whether it's through healing their traumas, whether to give them confidence. It's
mm,
only basically to have that grace and confidence and charisma,
right.
because wherever you go, people should turn and say, oh wow, how nice. So that
Mm,
is what I thought of. So
mm,
I made my courses accordingly, where I
mm,
included my image consulting, the communication which I have been learning from Pallavi and other coaches,
mm,
and then all those inner healing things, like all self-esteem issues, confidence, sometimes we have imposter syndrome, all those things. So
mm,
first we do that, and then I learned handwriting also. So I
mm.
read handwriting also included in that.
Nice.
I get to know so many things about people. I tell them how to change the stroke. So all together is a big package to just how you shine through.
Right,
That's the only thing.
right.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, beautiful. So we've like done. How do you feel at this point, Window, having shared your story and hearing your story out loud?
I'm feeling so light and nice because I don't think I have told anybody like that. And I'm so happy that I could tell you this today, what I had gone through and how was my journey.
Mm,
Because people should know that
yes,
problems will come. They will
yeah,
definitely come. But
yeah,
how you take them, how you take the
yes.
action after that, that is
Mm, mm,
so. Life is never going to be smooth, and there's no fun if it's smooth. So
correct.
take it how it comes a day, but
Mm,
I'll never think of the negative about yourself. Change
mm,
your narrative over there.
mm,
Always keep telling, oh, I am awesome. I am this. Because when you say that, you will feel that and you will show that.
mm.
That's
Beautiful.
so
So
don't
Bindu,
ever think I'm less than anybody. Now I
right.
don't. I used to at
Ah,
one time, I
yes.
told you. But now, no, nothing.
Beautiful. So, Bindu, one question for you, which is a very important question, right? I mean, today, in fact, we are on episode number 60 of our podcast. So,
Nice.
you've come in at a very momentous occasion of our 60th birthday, shall we say, since we
Congratulations.
rolled this out. Thank you so much. We rolled this out last year at the beginning of the year,
Hmm.
and we did a few. Then we sort of like recapitulated. We looked at what we were doing. We kind of shifted things around, and then we started to do more and more. So
Hmm.
the reason why I'm mentioning this is because For a moment, I had forgotten that the person sitting in front of me has also had mentors in their life that have shaped their journey. Like you mentioned a few, but this is that segment where I'd love to um, hear your story of your journey of mentors. It's basically, along the journey, along the way on the path, who are some of these people that you met? And also, obviously, this is an opportunity to express gratitude for people that have, you know, in many ways, knowingly and unknowingly, they have shaped uh, your life and your journey. So, do share with us, like, who are some of these people that were with you on the journey and that came in at different points.
So, as I began my journey, I
Mm.
would say that the institute from where I did my image consulting,
Mm.
of course, they had a big thing just to tell me that okay, these are momentary things. You have to
Mm.
have
Mm.
confidence and have high self-esteem, and moreover, how to dress up and present yourself because
Mm.
my husband always said, you were always a teacher. You used to dress up like that only. I said, don't say it. No, now look at you. Now look. So a big compliment to them that they taught me how to,
Right.
dress up gracefully. And after that, the success. Yeah. I
Mm.
work with each and every mentor.
Right.
I worked with the China, I with Prachi, then Thaddeus and Blair Singer and Imran. And I'm part of Sid's community also.
Mm.
So each and every person has helped a lot and keep on grabbing. That time we don't realize, but slowly we get to know that we imbibe so much. And I
Mm.
have been part of this thing. Rahul, you have been
Yes.
immense, your courses and coaching very, very powerful. So thank you
Thank you.
so much for that. You
Thank
have
you.
really made a very big impact on me. And that's how we learn not from one person but from
Mm.
many people.
True.
And really thankful and grateful to
Mm.
every one of you, especially to the success Gyan team, like what
Yes.
work they are doing, amazing. They're
Mm.
changing
Mm.
lives.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
one after the other, it was like till I found my ground. Okay, I can do
Yes.
now. I kept on.
Yes.
I kept
Yes.
on.
That's
Yes.
so beautiful the way you said it. One question before we come back to this. You mentioned the institute where you started. What is the name of the institute?
Image Consulting Business Institute. Yeah.
Okay. And this is based in Bombay, was it?
This is in Bombay. There are three branches in Bombay,
Okay.
but they are all over India, and they are uh, association with the US
Okay.
image
Yeah.
consultants. Yeah,
Because it definitely seems like they played a big role
they
at
did.
the right time, and
Yeah,
they kind of like set you on this path. So you said something right now which is very important, as coaches, healers, and as you said, for people who enter Success Gan's universe, which has obviously lots and lots of coaches, people at different levels, right? There are some who are like at the, let's say, a lead position where people, where these coaches are doing, or let's say they're leading literally sometimes hundreds of people in sessions, right? um, and so from what you said, you've probably done a lot of the digital, and then you've probably done some of them in person, am I right?
yeah,
So
yes,
along the way, these have been your experiences. I've seen this, and that's why I'm pointing it out, that for a lot of people, this can be a very overwhelming phase, especially coaches, healers who didn't, like, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, they never would have dreamt of doing this. But here they are today, speaking a different language. I had on a guest earlier today who's talking about, law of attraction and things like that, and I asked her also, I said, tell me, like, 5, 8, 10 years ago, were you speaking this kind of language before? And she's like, not in a million years at that point, right? So
yeah,
there's been this whole shift that has happened. But you said something very important. For a lot of coaches and healers, they are in what we used to call the washing machine. I don't know if they call it that yet still, but it's like your head spinning all the time. You're going from webinar to webinar, room to room, from one coach's community to another, and so on and so forth, right?
yes,
But you
yes.
said something very important, which is there will come a point in time where you find your own feet,
Yeah.
right? Walk us through what was that like, because there must have been a moment, or was there a moment when you suddenly went, ah, I get it now, like I am standing firm.
Yeah. So as I told you, the moment I finished my course, there was COVID and I could not do. Then again, it was, I was so confused. Now what?
Correct.
I spent so much there. I invested time, money, everything.
Correct.
Now what? Then it was, I joined China Raheja. Then was Prachi. So
Correct.
they were totally different. Prachi was all internal game, like how
Mm.
you set your mind, and China was all outer. And then further courses like I did quantum leap with the Blair
Mm.
Singer and all. So the way they brainwash it, not brainwash
Mm.
it, they show you the reality that how you carry yourself, how you take yourself. And Thaddeus, like, have fun in life also. It's not be
Mm.
serious. You can have uh, enjoyment,
Mm.
be happy. So that's what he taught me. You can be disciplined at the same time, but you can be happy and do
Mm.
things simultaneously. So
Correct.
that was a big thing, that while doing work, like it was like, oh, I have to work. You can't join. So Thaddeus taught us. Go
Mm.
out for tracking, go have your exercise every day, go for a walk, this and that. So that really made an impact, that
Mm.
you can be happy also while working. So
Right.
this was the condition. No, I have to work out. So all those things they have taught. Like, first make yourself
Mm.
happy. Then only you can make others happy. If you are
Right.
looking grumpy and you are looking, oh, so much tension, I'm loaded with things. What the impression you're going to give to people?
Right.
So first,
Right.
balance yourself,
Mm.
be stable, and then only you can give that picture to
Mm.
others.
Mm. So on this side, when did you realize, Bindu, that like, yeah, I've got it? Because you went through, different people's programs. So as you said, and you're right. So again, I just take a leaf out of what you said. It's brainwashing, but not in the traditional way that we understand brainwashing. Like
Yeah,
brainwashing, usually I'm just going to say it. Brainwashing normally comes from, when we talk about cults, right?
yeah.
Where you sort of like are, following this one leader, and only what the leader says and does we do, sort of a thing, right?
Yeah,
That's where
yeah, yeah.
typically the term brainwashing comes from, which has a
Yes,
negative
yes.
connotation.
Right.
But what you said is absolutely right, that, and because I've been through it myself as well. I mean, I started in 2019, but like hearing you, I was smiling because I'm reminded of my journey as well.
Yeah.
So there is a period of time where there's a lot of brain being washed, meaning that there's a lot of, it's like Diwali time, right? We take all the stuff out of our
Mhm.
cupboards and we clean everything, and then we put back only what we really want.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to know, on the other side of it, meaning you had been through all these programs, at what point did it kind of click and you went, like, I don't have to chase after every new program that's, because there would have been a time you're like, okay, I'll do this and I'll do this and I'll do this. But there would have been a point where finally it just things started to settle. What would walk us through that?
Uh, First of all, it's like when you see your bank account and how much you have
Yes.
spent already. So that is one thing. How much more you will do? Then start thinking back that how much you have learned. Have you applied that?
Yes.
So when you think that, okay, I know this, and what does it mean? It is, then I realize my pattern, that what I'm leading to. I'm leading to that I feel confident, I feel presentable, I feel
Nice.
graceful, and that is what I want to teach. So
Yes.
I combined everything and I found my purpose then. Because I was
Yes.
just searching here and there, and because I was searching myself. When I found myself, then I
Yeah.
said, yes, I know what I want.
Nice.
And that's how
So I
it
want to
is.
pause you here. Do you remember, like, there probably would have been either a moment when it just kind of, it just clicked, because you might
Uh,
have been seeing it off and on. But, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, what, like, take us to that moment where you finally went, oh yeah, I get it now.
um, Not a particular moment, but
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
times I
Huh.
felt, and
Huh.
that's how we gathered from everything,
Correct.
and that's how I made her together. Because when I felt that inner confidence with work with Prachi, I said,
Yes.
oh yeah, I can. And when I did with China, I said, no, I know this. I know how to present
Huh.
myself. I can do
Huh.
this.
Huh.
With communication, I can talk nicely. I can present
Correct.
myself. In handwriting, I can read handwriting with 95% correct. I said, why not combine all these? This is what
Mm.
is, people need to change themselves.
Got it.
So that is what I thought, yeah, now I'm at right track, and I am making my own package. I'm not thinking what
Mm.
others are
That's
doing.
it.
This is
That's
my
what I'm
thing.
getting at.
This
Ooh,
is my
beautiful.
thing, because I want to take people like, because I feel this way. I feel
Yes.
I can help you this way. So that was my baby.
Yeah, that's what I was implying. That I'm saying this because I've had that, and I know I'm not some one in a million that only I had this aha. I
Yeah.
know that especially when you're on this journey and you've spent some amount of time, and as you said, your
Yeah.
bank balance is it's like har ghar kuch kehta hai. It's like har bank balance kuch kehta hai, and you're like, okay, something is something. Something's happening, but something has to change,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
there comes that moment when you actually start to put the pieces together, right?
Hmm.
And you're like, oh, okay, this is Bindu's way of doing it. And
Yeah.
it will have elements of, a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
experiences, realizations from each of the coaches who came
Yeah.
into your life
Yeah.
at different points.
Yeah. Yes.
But what you're now offering is you in truly in that unique way that is reflective of who you are,
Yeah.
right? So I
Absolutely.
just looking at your reaction, you're like, "Ha, dil ki baat bol di." It's like yeah, this is it, right? And
Yes.
that's so true,
Yeah.
So as I said, I mean, for me, this is a treat. This is a big bonus that I get to spend time like this and that I get to meet you like this because in today's day and age, आज के ज़माने में we're like also either we're busy
Yeah.
or we are between programs or we
Hmm.
are in programs. It's like I like to say, in seminars, even if we had met at a seminar, we would have maybe got 3 minutes of
Yeah.
getting to know each other, and
Yes.
half stories left open, and then it's on to like next person saying something, and then we get diverted into whatever. For me, this is such a it's a gift that I get to hear your story, and as I said, not just for me, but now this is recorded for posterity. So when people are looking for Bindu or they want to know more about Bindu, this becomes part of your repository where they get to know more about you. They get to understand that, oh yeah, it's like Bindu ma'am had this experience, and so like when she's saying what she's saying, there's a reason why she's saying it, right? And this goes on to inspire more and more people out there, women out there who are maybe this is the hardest thing, to recognize that inner beauty in them,
Yes.
right?
It's
So
really.
thank you so much for taking the time for sharing your heart. And I know this has definitely inspired lots of people. And how do I know that? Because there'll come a point in time you would have forgotten about it, but somebody will say, Bindu ma'am, I actually found you on this pod, and just what you said that day, at that point, it just clicked with me.
Wow.
So it's truly been an honor to hear your story and to come along with you on your journey, Bindu. And I truly wish you all the best in all the amazing work that you're doing and that you will be doing in the future. So wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Rahul, and it was a pleasure being on your show. And I'm so happy I could share my story because I've never told anybody
Mm,
what I want to do and what I want to tell people. That was very important, and you
yes,
allowed me this platform to tell my story. So really, really thankful for that,
amazing.
and thoroughly enjoyed this
Amazing.
one.
So one final question, or maybe two, depends on how this flows. So one is, and I heard this recently, so it just felt like like a really beautiful question, which is there a question that you would have wanted me to have asked you that I haven't obviously yet? So if that's a question that you're like, oh yeah, I wish you'd asked me that question. Is there a question like that that comes to mind?
I don't
Okay.
think because you
Okay.
covered all
Okay.
nicely.
So then one final question, and this is actually one of my favorite questions, which is, what's your take on community? Meaning, not just being part of community, like you've shared that you've been part of different communities as you've been
Yeah,
learning, but
yeah.
also as you look at say this year, the rest of this year into the new year, how are you looking at community? Like creating community, building community. What are your thoughts? What's your philosophy on that?
I think it's a very powerful thing. Like when we
Mm.
build community, everybody feels that someone is there for you. We get connected.
Huh.
Sometimes, you cannot say something to your family members, but you have a friend over there whom you can confide and get
Yes.
nice. And so it's
Yes.
a beautiful thing. So we, along with our family, we get one a more family,
Yes.
which is always there. At two also,
Mm,
we can at night we can call them
mm,
and take their advice, and they are always there. So it is such a lovely bond, such a loving bond that people are in the journey with you. They are doing their own work.
yes.
Still, they are connected to them, and
Mm,
confide in them, and you feel somebody is there for you who's
yes.
ready to listen to you,
Yeah.
because your own problems when you are on this journey, families don't understand sometimes how much time
Mm,
you are spending. You don't have any other work, all the time you're in front of that. When will you sleep? I get to listen, but I
mm,
can share that with my fellow coach that they understand my problem. But
mm.
at home, my husband says, you have to go in the morning, still you're not sleeping, you will, health will affect this. How do I tell him I've got so much work to do? I have to finish. So sometimes that community is sometimes, you fall upon them. Please save me.
Right.
Listen. Even if they don't do, then they have a listening
Mm,
ear is enough for us.
right.
That's
Beautiful. Amazing. So, Bindu, once again, thank you for sharing so much. And I know this is iterative, which means as people hear this, it will kind of, it will amplify their stories, and it'll give them that confidence to go out and to reinvent themselves, or to, if nothing else, just to start by recognizing their own heart.
yeah.
So, thank you so much. It's been an absolute joy
Thank
having you.
you so much, Rahul. Thank you. It's total pleasure talking
Amazing.
to you.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Bindu. And of course, for those of you who are watching and you reach this point, and I truly mean this, I remind every audience that watches this every single time we do the pod, but I genuinely mean this, that, for those of you who have reached this point, and you've heard Bindu's story, something about it or a lot about it has connected with you, which means obviously, this is not just the beginning, but you can have so much more. You can connect much deeper with Bindu, and that's also one of the reasons why we've added all your links, so people can find you, people can follow you on socials, and get to know you and get to come along with you on your journey. And of course, for those of you who are watching, that you're special. That's why you reached this point. And of course, as always, remember to live your purpose. We will, of course, be back with more pods. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your intention. That's literally why we are today recording our 60th pod. And I know there's more to come. So, bless you in all that you do. And of course, as always, remember to live your purpose. And one final time, of course, Bindu, thank you for your energy and your presence. And with that, of course, I will now just hop around to the other channels and I close the windows, and I'll be right back with you in one quick second, Bindu.
Thank you.